What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horne. This is the NWA, the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. We're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance, as always. And if you're like Nani McPony or Nani McPony in the chat, she's right. Hit that like button if you're watching this live on YouTube. We would certainly appreciate that.
You know what I just realized? I had another window open and it was playing this really like soothing music. And I was like, oh, this is nice that Gary and Will now have like a little cool, like, bing, bing. So I'm dancing over here. And then I go, oh, that's another YouTube video playing. I'm an idiot.
It's another YouTube video. Well, that's Kyle Davis. Hello, Kyle.
What's going on, everybody? How's your day going? I hope it's going fantastic. I'm here with the boys. Look at us, the bearded quadruple. Let's do this damn thing. The quad beard. The beard quad? We're going to work on that one today. Put in the chat what
Quartet's what you're looking for.
The beard quart? Let's just put in the chat, figure it out. Let's come up with something clever. Let's do this.
That other voice you just heard is Wil Martin. Hey, it's Will. Hey, Will.
Good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful night to talk about NWA wrestling and everything that's coming up. I am always ready. I don't know if you guys are, but I am.
And this doesn't always get to happen, but live from the Dealz house itself, that's where all the NWA merch comes from. Danny Dealz is here.
Yeah. Look, Chach is here. Maddie's here. Vin's back there. Huh? Got Marty and Cal right here. Daniel W. Dealz is here. Yeah, in the Dealz house. Pretty sweet, isn't it? I got all kinds of stuff, including Will's going to like this. Look at this, buddy.
Oh,
I just like the color purple. That's a nice shirt just because of the purple. I don't agree with it, but I like the color scheme.
It's the new MCWA, Matt Cardona Wrestling Alliance. I placed my order last week, so I'm anxiously waiting. And once I get it,
by the next show, you'll be rocking that shirt.
Once I get it, I don't know that I'll ever wear anything else. Even though I do like this brand new NWA. What's this one called? Dealz?
That's
what's
the 1981 retro video game. Shirt.
1981 retro video game shirt. It's really nice. I'm steering away a little bit from the solid black T-shirts just for tonight, just to see it's kind of a test run. But I feel good about it.
What's up, Gary Horne? Wearing a black shirt like everybody else. What's up with you? Didn't you get the memo? I forgot to send the memo.
Shirt. I'm an Empower shirt. I should be wearing a new one, but yeah.
And actually, Kyle and I did not discuss
wearing. We didn't.
Because
Wrestling with the MMA in the chat said it was cute that you guys were matching.
I'm not gonna lie. 4 minutes before I came on, I had a Mortis T-shirt on.
A Mortis T-shirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I was like, hey, me wearing a gym shirt with like my nipples hanging out, we don't need that.
And of course, we all just saw each other, as Scott is pointing out in the chat here. Fantastic show on Saturday. The next few weeks are going to be fun. Yeah, there's a Power Trip 2 is where we were all at on Saturday in Oak Grove, Kentucky, and it was a good time had by all, and a lot of new faces this time.
Yeah, a lot of new faces, and I mean, like, what happened? Well, you're just going to have to wait and find out, because those will be airing as a special NWA Power Edition down the road.
That is true. Want to give a shout out to everybody.
USA, I believe, right?
And NWA USA. That's right. This was a weird one. The shirt I'm wearing, I'm just not used to Power Trips being a dual show. So we got a little bit of everything. So in the coming weeks and months, you're going to be finding out some of the fun things that happen on there. And there was a couple things I wasn't expecting, but you'll have to wait and see, peeps.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And as we like to do at the top of the show, let me give a shout out to some of our people here. Nani McPaul in the house. I mentioned her already. Scott, of course, we just talked about. John Gaunt is here. Willie Bowen's here. And Wrestling with the MMA. Let's see who else we got. Referee James Lawrence is in the house. Josu Acosta. And let's see, I'm probably missing other people. Kevin Davis, Andrew. And I saw Polka Dot Pam and Heather Hunley in the chat. Young Rider, Sith Lord Sandoval's here. Oh my God, there's so many of you. I can't keep naming names, or it's just going to be really boring to somebody just listening to this. So we'll get over it. But thank you all for being here, seriously, and everybody participating in the chat. We do love you folks for doing that. And if you haven't been paying attention to the bottom scroll down here, really cool stuff tonight. If you go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop, Danny Dealz has got it set up for you. You can save 15% off anything if you use the code MADDEALZ, MADDEALZ. And if I'm not mistaken, Danny has told us that's going to last all week long.
All week long until Friday. I decided to change, Kyle, just so because this is a new shirt too. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a good one too. I'm trying to figure out why I can't type into the chat. It's telling me I have to create a channel to join chat. I don't know why. I guess I'm a loser.
So now we're doing diagonal. Me and G Unit got the black shirts.
This is good.
Got the Crayola colors. All right.
I like it.
There we
I
go.
like it.
I just need 5 more people to get on here so we can play Hollywood Squares.
Perfect. And so anyway, nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. Use the
So
code
does
Dealz.
Perfect.
And there you go. There's some of the stuff we're wearing tonight. Actually, you can see all of this except for that new hoodie, but everybody's sporting that new hoodie. I saw Kinsey Page advertising it on her social media. Nick Aldis was advertising it on his. So lots of people loving that brand new blue hoodie. And
That thing is almost gone.
Is it? That's nice.
Yeah.
Dealz, I got to tell you, I'm not one for complimenting you all the time, but you are really picking some great designs, the color schemes and everything. You are not only offering deals to the people right there with the promo code MADDEALS to get 15% off, but what you're coming up with, it makes me want to go get this stuff as well. So get on that quick because limited edition, folks. When this stuff's gone, it might not be coming back.
See that stuff to the right? See, Candy shipped me. She found a bunch of the archive stuff. She shipped me a bunch of stuff and have all these random older shirts, right? So I made you get 4 shirts of the same size for $20. It's totally random. Could be talent, could be NWA, could be whatever. And I've got cases and cases of stuff. I got all these posters. I got to make a poster bundle too. I got to make a pin bundle. I got to do all kinds of stuff.
I should have stopped by the warehouse on my way when I was leaving Nashville. Man, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
and when he's talking about
Maddie will let you in.
he's talking about that retro stuff. That's even retro talent. So people that have come through the NWA previously. I mean, it could be anything.
It could be
There could be
anything.
pins, posters, shirts, anything could be in those Dealz bags, can't they?
Well, yeah, this one's just a shirt bundle.
Okay.
We're gonna do the posters and stuff later, yeah. But this one's just a shirt because there's so many shirts. Like the NWA shirts, old pay-per-view shirts. There's even I saw a Nick Aldis shirt, a Camille, Strictly Business, whatever. It's all kinds of stuff.
Was that I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's a little bit of a Marty Bell shirt right there in the corner I saw too when he posted that one as well.
Bell.
Yeah, Marty Bell. Could be anything in there. Yeah, that's a little that MA. That's for Marty. What else we got?
Yeah.
I like how I'm literally looking around, like if I could look around the corner as if somehow it's not a stationary image.
Yeah, one.
Like, try to zoom in on it with your finger.
Yeah.
AK
What's
shirt.
over there? What if I just look past that just slightly to the left?
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, that's a Marty Bell shirt. There's an old Power shirt.
I love this. I love the fact that there's so many options now and you're giving people the opportunity to get something that they can't get anymore. I've never even seen that Allison K shirt.
I never had either. I actually texted her and said, "Did you know you used to have shirts?" And she said, "Yes."
Well,
I love it. He'll just bringing it all back. He's making things happen. Fantastic. Now, if only the ill-begotten could go on a winning streak, you'd be hitting all the things you need to be doing.
Oh, buddy, I wouldn't worry about that, man. The IB boys have been training hard. We've been eating tuna or whatever we're supposed to do. We're going to be good down here. Who's this talking Smith? Talk about the IB. There you go, Alex.
Alex changes icon to anti-Joe Galli.
It should be anti-Medusa, but it's okay. Well,
As long as it's not anti-me, I'm fine with that. La Rebellion is the coolest tag team since the Bulldogs. I'm seeing that on the chat. I like that. Oh, my God. The original British Bulldogs versus La Rebellion. If only that could happen.
that would be amazing. That would be
well,
fantastic.
we did talk about time travel on the show before, but we don't need to revisit that because we got way out of there.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this past week's NWA Power or La Rebellion. Came away with a huge win. And we're also going to talk about this past week's NWA USA. I mean, guys, three titles? Yeah, 3 titles defended over the past week just on Power and USA. And so big stuff. We'll talk about what's coming up on this week's Power too as we go into this. In fact, let's jump into talking about Power. We started off this week. Kyle, I told everybody beforehand, before we got started, I do a little run through of the shows to try to run through. And we can hit them that way just for listeners only, that it makes more coherent sense. The opening of this week's NWA Power, you were out there with Chelsea Green and VSK and Mike Knox. And
how lucky are you?
Tell me about it. I mean, I was almost part of the family, but I'm not. If only Wil could live the life I'm leading, he would. Look at him; his eyes lit up. You can't see it, but things lit up too. He loves the Cardonas.
That's the one. This is the first time I've been jealous of you.
Aw. I think that's a lie. I think you've been jealous of me before this.
I believe that may be true. Sandoval asking Danny Dealz. Let's cover this real quick. If you order more than one, do you get a different lot with each additional order?
Yeah,
it'd be hard to tell. Probably.
Yeah. So if you order 2 bundles together, then you're going to get 8 different shirts. And if you order even this is good too, because they could put it in the customer notes. Like if they buy a bundle this week and then next week they buy another bundle, they can put in the customer notes what they already got, and we'll make sure it's not in there. But if they buy 2 bundles at once, they'll get 8 different shirts.
That is customer service at its finest.
Say, man,
we got
Danny customer service over here.
XL, 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X. There's not a ton of 5X, but the Deal Machine has some of that.
If only I could get duct tape beards that I could put on here, like you got there in Chachi or whatever his name is.
Don't make fun of Chach. What's the matter with you? Do you see Maddie's hat? These hats aren't available though.
I'm sorry, I blocked out Carneyland. I have a lot of bad memories about that.
We're gonna turn that around.
Thank you.
Well,
that looks more like Matt Taven with a hat backwards and a hat forwards. I'm just going to say.
Seeing a lot of people joining us, like Fee and Bobby and Sith Lord here and Devin and a bunch of you.
He's here because the Deal Machine is here. Let's be honest.
Well, it's true, and I was just going to say, for all you folks that are just joining us, the Deal Machine did hit us up. Just keep it in mind. Save 15% at the shop. That's nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. 15% when you use the promo code MADDEALS.
I saw Sith Lord on here saying Bears extension, and I was like, I think he meant beard. Otherwise, he's thinking of we're going to be a different type of show if he's looking for bear extensions.
Well, so back to that promo, Kyle. You were out there, and the Chelsea is his basic standard gloating from the Cardonas. I'm sure we all know what we're talking about there. Chelsea says they're the only true champions in the NWA. They travel the world. They're the ones that represent all of that stuff. And she even goes so far as to say she's the only woman that deserves the Burke. And then VSK jumps in with, we should be tag team champions. She should be women's champion. Kyle, you got a little ballsy there for a second. Mentioned that Matt Cardona is actually the only one with a championship.
Didn't do well, yeah. I shouldn't do that
got
anymore.
You an early exit from the podium, I believe. They just walked you out. And but anyway, I didn't know if I guess it sounds like the Cardonas may be gunning for more gold here, possibly coming up.
Yeah, of course. I mean, always. That's the point of what we're doing. And when you're talking about the Cardonas, I mean, I Chelsea came out, she stated facts, and Kyle, you bring up a good point. I'll give you this.
Thank you.
And when it comes to her comments about the women's championship, I think she's got a shot against Camille. I still think, I stand by my statements in the past that Camille has been unbeatable thus far, but if Chelsea can catch her on a good night, I think that's a valid point. But yeah, I mean, they're here for the gold. Everybody is. And right now in the Cardona family, the top prize in all of pro wrestling is in the family, the 10 pounds of gold. So yeah, they can come out and say whatever they want.
I mean, the family just keeps getting bigger.
Chelsea would be the best representative of the title.
There you go.
Do you not think?
I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Yes.
And she's right. She's traveling the world. She could represent the NWA just like her husband, her champion husband, the king of the death match. And that'd be great. It'd be a beautiful world.
Well, I know that you guys are fans of the Cardonas. Now, it's weird. I could see the BSK and Mike Knox trying to gun for the tag titles and Chelsea, but it seems like there's a lot of people in line ahead of them. It would feel like at this point right now. You've got the Commonwealth connection. Has to be waiting in the wings there.
You love that Commonwealth connection.
I'm just saying they won the Crockett Cup.
You'd think that they're.
I'm going to put this out here right now.
Or they didn't win the Crockett Cup. They were in the finals of the Crockett Cup.
There's a lot of teams ahead of that in contention, but I'm seeing, we just recently announced Always Ready, the pay-per-view branded as Matt Cardona. I don't know if you've seen this otherwheres. The show afterwards, our next version of Power Trip coming up is Knocks Out. It seems like the Cardonas are just taking over everything, and it's making me kind of question what might be going on behind the scenes here. So there's a part of me that's thinking, Is something up? Are there some shenanigans? And are the Cardonas just going to get pushed right to the top of contention for everything? Because that's the vibe I'm getting. I don't know. Just, it seems a little weird to me. So when you're saying, I don't know, they're at the top here, something's up. And I feel like they might be pushed to this. So we'll see what happens. Cardona's actually in somebody's ear. It looks like something, he's chatting with somebody. He's making things happen.
You're saying trickery is afoot.
Good job, Will. It seems like you're on the right side of history on this one.
Well,
yeah, I mean, he's leveraging the title that he holds.
It's true. I mean, that's just smart business, I guess.
He's got a whole title, or a whole pay-per-view named after him coming up here. So, and I guess this is as good a time as any to bring that up. Always Ready coming up on June the 11th. You don't want to miss that. And if I'm not mistaken, I got a little thing about that here. Here it is.
June 11th, the National Wrestling Alliance returns to pay-per-view with NWA Always Ready, live from Knoxville, Tennessee. Scheduled to appear, NWA World Heavyweight Champion Matt Cardona, Nick Aldis, Trevor Murdoch, NWA World Women's Champion Camille, Chris Adonis, NWA World Television Champion Tyrus, and many more. Tickets on sale now at NWATix.com. That's NWATix.com. The National Wrestling Alliance. Wrestling as it was meant to be.
Does it ever get weird to just hear your own voice on the promo?
Could you see me in the corner of the screen when that rolled? Where I went, ugh.
I don't know if you're sick right now or if you're just your vocal cords are strained from this weekend, but that was like 4 steps higher than your normal voice. That was
so real talk. Let's give you a little insider stuff here. Every time I have to watch an episode, I go, oh, there's me. Oh, I can hear myself doing ring announcing. Well, there's a promo. So literally when I recorded that, I said, I'm sick of my voice. Let's try to go with a slightly different voice because it'll break up the monotony. To the point where there's a part of me that goes, I wish Matt Cardona cared enough. Or if I had said, can you please do this voiceover? And you want to tell me, Kyle, you're a mark loser, walk away from me. I wish I could just have gotten him to do it because I'm sick of my voice. And I'm sorry, I'm on this show right now. I'm talking too. Guys, I hope you like me more than I like me.
Wow.
I like you fine, Kyle. And that's why we love having you around.
I don't be like, hey, everybody, guess what's happening?
The people love you, Kyle. And
it's a lot. And sometimes I go, I hope people are like, I hope this isn't the same guy that I keep on hearing because, geez, I think in ring announcing from now on, I'm just going to be like, coming to the ring, weighing in at 187 pounds, the notorious legend, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. This is Homicide. And people will be like, ooh, they got a new ring announcer.
That felt like an impersonation of somebody, but I'm not going to get
it. Almost sounded like I just went into a promoter in Blaze mode. But then I'm talking about Disney too. No shade. No shade.
All right. Well, moving on. And speaking of Always Ready and Matt Cardona, another person who's got their eyes on Matt Cardona and has had to, after Crockett Cup, work their way up from the bottom and has been in match after match on NWA Power, I do have to say, is Nick Aldis. He is taking on all comers, working his way through the roster again, hoping to get another shot at Matt Cardona for the World's Heavyweight Championship. And this past week on Power, he took on Jordan Clearwater, which is an awesome matchup. I loved watching this one, and just a great, technically sound matchup. Ended when G's tried to jump up on the ringside area. Aldis knocked him off. Jordan tried to catch him with the Midas touch. It was reversed into the King's Lid, Cloverleaf, and Aldis gets the tap.
Oh God! If Aldis and Cardona were in like a transport machine, like in The Fly, and they were merged into one being, Aldona. Oh man,
Nick Aldona,
and he's just like at first he'd be the height of a physical specimen, the merging of these two individuals, but slowly he'd melt and merge into. So what would they slowly turn into?
Something
Magnus Ryder. They'd slowly merge into Magnus Ryder. It would be like a part Nick, part one-legged gear, and like he'd be like
get you assaulted if you say
and
that.
He'd have an accent, and he'd be like woo woo woo, and then it would just be weird. Yeah, that's it. I figured it out.
That's what I was wondering about. What would the accent be? It'd be like a blend of British and Long Island.
Long Island. It's like the worst of both worlds.
Chris not feeling Nick Aldis to get a shot at the title, but I mean, he's working his way there. Others have had a chance. Pope just had a chance with Matt Cardona, and unfortunately couldn't take on.
Hey, do me a favor, everybody, in the chat, since Chris brought this up, who would you like to see in title contention for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship? I kind of want to just get a vibe for this, see where people are feeling.
Plunkett.
Plunkett? Okay, I like that. Did you put that in the chat? Because otherwise you're not following the rules, Deal.
That's a good point.
You know, the rules are kind of...
Harry Smith.
All right.
Bobby Batito says Harry Smith, a physical specimen unlike any other. I've literally been next to him before and went just like, hey, how's it going? In the middle, put it out. You're a
Latimer,
big boy.
come on, Fee.
Latimer, I got to be honest with you. Recently, with the shirt I'm wearing,
British bias right there.
NWA USA, seeing Latimer and everything like that, that man is definitely hitting his stride. And love him or hate him, you can't deny him. He's got the look, he's got the talent, he's got the skills. His future wife being the NWA World's Women's Champion, that power couple, as we like to call them, both as champions, that would be money, I think.
Well, let's give a few minutes for you guys to drop these in the comments, and I'm going to show you a little clip that played on Power this week. Billy Trask put in a lot of effort, so I want to give him this. Here's a little something that shows you why Aldis is still in competition for this World's Heavyweight Championship.
Matt Cardona, you and I have unfinished business.
He wanted to leech off me. He wanted to steal my buzz. And I don't blame him. Nick, I don't blame you. But if you think you're going to get another opportunity at my title, think again, because it's not going to happen.
The issue with Matt Cardona now goes beyond the World's Championship. Maybe only for the second time in my entire career in the NWA, an issue is so personal that the championship is not even important to me.
This is my title. This is my podium. That's my ring. This is my family. And the NWA is mine.
Matt Cardona, understanding that he made the biggest mistake of his natural life when he crossed Nick Aldis, is the most important thing to me. And if that means that I humiliate him, embarrass him, and stretch him so bad his ancestors tap out, and I walk away with the World's Championship, then so be it.
We are here to save the NWA, and pretty soon, all of you, you're gonna thank us, because we are the saviors of this company.
Crazy stuff there from the two guys. I mean, I don't know. That gives me chills a little bit to want to see that matchup. But we've given the chat some time here to throw in some names. So let's see what they got. Kyle maybe has the ear of somebody.
Jack Stane, #1 contender. Well,
that's factually accurate.
Actually, he's absolutely correct. Historically, that has been one of the contingencies there. That championship does give you a stepping stone to the world title. Harry Smith, Jack Staines, Jordan Clearwater. I can see that in a few more years. He's come a long way. When he first started with us, it was just kind of there, an athlete, but nothing that struck me. But the golden boy now and his shower of charisma definitely does stand out. Matt Cardona versus Doug Williams, chaos theory right there. I can see that going on. It is a world title. It's been defended all over the world, so that could happen. And Murdoch has that rematch clause going on there, and the new attitude that Murdoch has, more focused, not so much worried about making other people happy. He's in it to, like any other person. Really, when you're going to be a champion, you need to kind of focus on yourself. And JTG, who right now is in the tag team, the Dirty Sexy Boys. But JTG he's money. He is an athlete. He's got the look. He's got the charisma. He's got the skills. He's got the talent. And you never know what's going to happen. If he finds himself in a singles position, that is definitely an opportunity that I could see him trying to run with as well.
Is Brent Albright still a contender?
Brent Albright, that arm bar was devastating. That exploder suplex, a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. But, I haven't heard much from him as of late. And as a former partner and the man that he beat for the championship, Adam Pearce, I don't know what happened to that guy either. It's weird. It's like he just disappeared.
Well, I know he gets mentioned on every episode of the show now, so I feel like it's only a matter of time before we see it happen.
I could send a text out right now and be like,
Albright gets mentioned on the show every week.
do you have Albright?
Didn't he get
No,
mentioned last week? I feel like it got mentioned last week or something.
No.
Talking about the history of the National Wrestling Alliance, and a lot of people might not be realizing of how many champions they have been. Colby Carrino's father, a former NWA champion. There's all sorts of craziness. And the other week I almost met Dan Severn, but I slept in because the show was early during the day. But Colorado Kid, you know, the guy who represents the entire state of Colorado as a child.
Yeah.
Even though he's from Illinois.
And hey, let's not forget about Cahagas.
Oh,
Yeah,
would
let's
love
forget
to see
about
that. Yeah. Well, okay. Good. Danny Dealz says, let's forget about that.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I love the ideas of like Doug Williams getting a shot and that kind of thing. I see Murdoch a lot, and that's one person Cardona is gonna have to look out for. Like Trevor Murdoch is definitely coming for Matt Cardona and Nick Aldis, it sounds like. So somewhere down the line. I love Noni's vote of Mike Knox. That would be an interesting matchup.
Was that going to upset Will to think the fact that Mike Knox one day might not always be ready and might feel like maybe it's time to knock on that door and get a championship opportunity?
Knocks on that door. Holy crap.
Listen, that would be a friendly contest between family members. Family members fight sometimes. It's reality. And Mike Knox has had shots at that title. If he wanted to take another shot, I'm sure it would be a nice friendly fight. And there's a pecking order in the Cardona family. Everyone's aware of that. And I think after the match and Cardona retains, that would just go back to normal. So that'd be a fun, I'm sitting here thinking about this. I'm looking at all these names. I'm asking myself, who needs to face Matt Cardona? Who needs, to leech a little bit off of his social media buzz? Who needs kind of that bump? And any of these names could really benefit from a losing effort against Matt Cardona. So whoever, bring him on.
Losing effort. I like that you're not even going to give the concept of him possibly losing the championship.
Entertaining the thought.
No.
Who
does
not
a guy
a name
like
yet
Will
that
want to
has
see?
struck me as a threat.
So just nobody.
What would your dream match be right now? You look at the talent that is in the NWA, or I'll even give you tangentially, talent that is possibly coming into the NWA that you might be thinking of. You give me an idea. I'll see what we can do with this.
Talent in the NWA or that might be coming in.
I have somebody outside of the company that I would love to see go for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
You talking about
and I know it's not going to happen. It's somebody who was actually in NWA title contention back in the ROH NWA title days. Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro. I'm just putting it out there. I personally would love if that title match ever happened, but I'm not saying it is.
The day that I started at NWA podcast,
I'm just putting it out there.
That was the guy I said from day one that I wanted to see wrestle for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Say it again because my headphone cut out. Who are you talking about?
Claudio Castagnoli Cesaro is somebody who is on the outskirts, who right now is just floating in the wrestling ether that I would love to have given that opportunity. There's somebody else. There's a name that literally just came up the other day that I think would be a perfect fit there. Dexter Loomis, or whatever he's going to end up as.
Sam Shaw.
He is free in the world. He's going to go back with Sam Shaw. Well, let's say Sam Shaw. I think that he would be a great fit as well. I'm just thinking of people that are on the outskirts. Inside the company, though, I would absolutely freaking love to see Tom Latimer make a run for that. But right now his eyes are focused on the national championship. And I got to be honest with you. I know Camille. I know Tom. And Camille is a driving force in that relationship. And for all I know, I can't prove this, but I think it might be, she literally said, what's the quickest way to get gold on my man's waist? The national championship, stepping stone to the world title. It wouldn't put me past. She thinks like that, and he has the talent to make what she thinks happen. So who knows?
How about Sugarfoot?
No, nobody. That would be a real pain.
Well, if we're having the conversation of people outside the company we like to see, I'm going to say the same thing. If you've been watching This Is Pro Wrestling for a long time, you've heard me mention this name before. But I am dying to see Joe Hennig in an NWA ring. And if that were to ever happen, I would pop huge for that.
It came so close to happening about a year and a half ago.
Ooh,
spoilers.
Insider information.
I was so close.
He literally was on a call sheet at one point in time, and some things happened. So you never know what could happen.
I got one. Bobby Dempsey.
Bobby Dempsey, you are just naming people that I used to travel with that have. There's no way. There's no way that's going to happen. They are my cousins. You're absolutely right. Just like anybody in Impact is your cousin as well.
Ah, that's a stretch.
Welcome, connecting people through wrestling, tuning in from New Orleans.
I bump into him everywhere I go. I was at an AEW show. I took a photo with him. He was at NWA shows. I took a photo with him. Yes, Henning would be awesome. I agree. That's a great show. Will, you're nailing it. You're on point today.
All right. Well, let's talk about another title real quick. How about on NWA Power this past week? Homicide in a big defense. Exactly. In a big defense of the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. He took on Rhett Titus. And just like every other match before this, since Homicide's won that title, Koji Cutter for the win, and Rhett Titus, as good of the match as the match was, Rhett Titus goes down to Homicide. He's unstoppable since picking up that gold. I talked to him this weekend, and he was talking about how it just, there was even talk about retirement at one point. Like, it just, and then here he is. He's the NWA World's Junior Heavyweight Champion.
If it ever happens, I can say this with a promise. Homicide had a This Is the End show and everything else, but the man, one of his favorite wrestlers of all time, is Terry Funk. And if you know anything about Terry Funk would just, this is it. I'm going to leave right now.
That brother retired 53 times.
And come back. Homicide, I feel like, is going to just be like, man, that's my legend. I'm going to do that. And he's just going to retire 15 times and keep on coming back like Funk. And this championship, this run that Homicide has in the junior division, there's a part of me that loves what he's doing, and there's a part of me that's concerned about what he's doing, because he is defending this championship every opportunity he gets, which builds a legacy. But if you are putting yourself out there, the odds are going to catch up to you. You're not going to be a champion for long if you keep on trying to defend this title every other day. So Homicide, I'm a champion. At the end of the day, I think it's going to bite him in the ass.
I would agree with you if it was a normal person, but we're talking about Homicide, not only one of the greatest wrestling minds of our generation, but he can still go. I mean, if you've watched any of these title defenses, you would never know that he's been doing this for decades. You would think he's a fresh up and comer who's making a name for himself, because that's the intensity he goes out there with every single match. And it's just a different Homicide than I feel like we've seen the last 5 or 6 years, in my opinion. And it's kind of reignited his career and obviously his passion for what he does. And, guys that are that far along in their career, it's normal to just kind of fade into the background, become, a backstage helper or something like that, a personality. But he is not content to do that. Helper. So
I was going to say, they're called agents.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Davis. Not all of us are ring announcers.
No, it's quite all right. Homicide's one of those people that he's been in the industry for so long. He's somebody who's been everywhere and done everything. And to see him still be able to wrestle at the level in the competition that he's been doing lately is actually astounding to me. And it's actually kind of scary too. It's scary to me because I know him as the guy who poured Drano down Colt Cabana's throat. He used to stab people with forks. And he's technically sound and he's doing amazing. And the thing that scares me is that at any point where he feels like he doesn't have to rely on that anymore, he still has a whole other bag of tricks that makes it even more dangerous. So
that's a really great point.
Yeah,
he has been just straight out winning wrestling matches.
Yes.
If he needs to bust out old Homicide, if we bring that,
I'm worried that Colby Carino is going to make him so angry one day that it's going to result in the point that when he goes get a license to wrestle in Missouri and they check in there, have you ever been convicted of a felony? He's just going to be like, well, I can't deny it now. I did. I just killed Colby Carino. It's going to be one of those things that I'm worried about. My mom stabbed me with a steak knife. That's a supervillain origin story right there. The weirdest one in the room. I hope it hasn't messed you up too much.
The weirdest one in the room,
you deserved it. I hope you know that.
The weirdest one in the room is saying, for anybody just listening, is my mom stabbed me with a steak knife. So proving that his name on here is not just clever, it's accurate.
Well, weirdest one in the room's Mom versus Homicide for the junior heavyweight title.
I see on here, can Scion or Jordan Clearwater challenge for the junior heavyweight championship? Anybody can challenge for the junior heavyweight championship as long as they are dieting to the point where they fit that weight requirement. Because otherwise, they're out. That's it. Weight requirement. You got to hit it.
Scion needs to reestablish his relationship with his daddy, Austin Idol, first before he does anything.
Who says it's really his daddy either? Like, let's
Austin
touch base
said-
on that. Like, I could trust anything Austin Idol says. Have you met the man?
He's never lied to me.
And the fact of the matter is, Scion, I don't even know how much the guy weighs. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he weighs. I don't know where he comes from. I literally just know he's the masked Scion. I'm the guy that has to say all this stuff, and I literally have almost a blank card. Not going to lie. Real talk here.
You
Look at
tell
that.
me-
Do you see a weight or anything on that card? Nope.
Okay.
The man's a
I was
mystery.
going to say, it's your
Hold on a
job to
minute.
know that.
So you think you can't trust Austin Idol, but you trust this brother wearing a mask all day?
I don't trust either one of them. And even more so, if it turns out Austin Idol is his father, it makes him even more untrustworthy. Because if you have that genetic component in you, who knows? Just putting that out there.
Oh,
What's the weight requirement?
Devin's question. What's the weight requirement for the junior heavyweight
235,
division?
right?
230.
230. Okay, 230 is the weight.
Well, that puts Alex Taylor out. Otherwise, he'd
Tyrus.
dominate the division.
And Alex Taylor, I mean, I just saw him this weekend, and at one point, I found out how strong he is. And I was literally shocked. The entire locker room was shocked when that happened during a match, which you'll have to wait to find out. But
Alex is
AT,
jacked, man.
he's got some muscle on him and a low center of gravity, so he can just pop those boys right up on his shoulders. Shoulders like boulders, as Red Titus used to say.
Your cousin.
My cousin. That's going to say. You plug the people you know and you plug the people you love. I'll also go to town and tell you how great Joe Galli is too, if you
Uncle
need to know.
Zilla says Tyrus is in. So,
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to fit that cutoff point. He is a number one selling book author that
cool.
definitely fits that weight requirement. Yeah, let's not lie to ourselves. Look at that right
Will
there.
showed off that book there. Tyrus's new book. Yeah, this past.
Had the autograph signing. Oh, you got one signed? Look at that.
Yep, I got one. I
He
got one for
spelled
my
my name
mother-in-law.
wrong. He spelled my
Love
name
it.
wrong, but I was too scared to correct him.
That makes it.
I
That
was
makes
just-
it worth
thank you,
more.
Thank you, Mr. Tyrus.
Yeah.
It's worth
Yeah.
more if he spells it wrong. It's like just a little
Yeah,
error there.
the deal
It's like-
machine brought some of his books, and they're all gone.
Yes, I was at the hotel restaurant post show, and we were in Nashville, and then Tyrus was in there getting some snacks. And as I walked in, I heard somebody screaming his name, and I looked over. There was a table full of people that were just enthralled by him, and it threw me off so much. There was somebody else there that you would not fit in as being somebody that I should be hanging out with. But he also looked and he's like, I don't get it. What happened? I go, Fox News. And he's like, oh my God, that's right. So that man has millions of people that follow him that I don't even know if they even know he's legit a wrestler. So this guy is all over the place. Can you imagine being so popular that people from different industries know who you are without even knowing that you do the other thing? That's
Happens to me
impressive.
all the time.
Of course, we all know that. This is anti-fat? No, it's not. It's just anti-weight. And really, at the end of the day, what is weight but something that was contrived by mankind? Like, have you ever thought about the fact, I was driving yesterday, I thought about this. You remember the time travel conversation? Let's go there.
Hey,
when did everybody
eating gummy
agree?
bears again
No,
today?
I had none tonight. I am completely on the clear on this one.
Wow.
When did everybody in mankind decide that time is what we agreed upon? We can't agree upon the metric system or weights or anything, but everybody goes, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That makes sense. For all we know, we could be wrong. It could be 2026 right now, but we all just went along with it at some point in our lives and said, yeah, let's all agree. It's this year, this date, this time. That impresses me.
I
Anyway,
think
moving
it
on.
was the Mayans who came up with it.
Still, have you had no?
Clearly, no.
I'm sure I have some.
For Kyle.
I'm sure I have some undiagnosed adult behavioral disorder that I'm unaware of. But
I
at
think
the
it
end
was
of the day,
Mayans.
I think
They're
it works.
also the ones who came up with. That's why we have the number 0.
Oh, that's a good point.
Is that a tie?
If you're wondering why I keep
Corgan?
reading these out, it's because
that's what he said. So
I keep reading things out because I've been told that we have a lot of people that listen to us. Just-
Santa Balls is saying that I'm having some talk. Said I'm in the clear right now. I didn't even have time to enjoy anything that might help my neck problems. So yeah, we're golden. This is just Kyle. This is Kyle doing Kyle.
this is normal Kyle. This is how he is all the time, folks.
It really is. It's scary. And so.
NWA gummies.
I literally did have a conversation with somebody in LA, area, and I can't make any promises, but I have to pitch that to William Patrick Corgan. I don't know if he's going to go for it, but I think the benefits of it are a lot better. Oh, your lights are going out too.
Well, let's do the alcohol gummies like you had that one time, so we can make those in Tennessee.
I have more in
LA,
the fridge.
the tax will be too high. They'll want to tax you.
A cell soap brush or a Gags toilet brush for the laboratory. I'm very confused by that, and knowing Gags, I'm worried where that would get put onto his body instead of cleaning a toilet.
Yeah, not sure
Wrestling
what those,
with him, I like it.
but yeah, NWA gummies seem to be popular. So I think let's see here. Some people guessing Billy is not going to go for that. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's talk about another thing that happened on NWA Power this week. Right after the Homicide match, who'd have thunk it? Angelina Love shows up. Just shows up at the podium with you guys.
You almost said somebody else.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
Angelina Jolie. No, was it not? Okay. Anyway, Angelina Love shows up and announces that she has signed a contract. She's going to be in the NWA. Kyle, you asked her when. We'll see her first. And she says, you're just going to have to wait and see.
Nobody wants to tell me anything.
Yeah, that seems to be.
Angelina Love. Now, let's talk about this women's title here. I think that it should immediately be stripped off Camille and given to Angelina Love. I don't think there's a better representation of the title. Maybe Chelsea.
Are you trying to get Angelina Love taken out by Camille?
Angelina Love is probably, she may be the greatest female wrestler in North America.
Actually,
a part of North America for the geography.
Danny, I'm glad you're talking about this because it actually brings me into my next point, because right after she showed up, we actually had Mae Valentine interviewing Mickie James. And Mickie James had a lot to say about your girl Chelsea. She had a lot to say about the Cardona family in general. But Mae tried to cool things down and asked about another topic. And let's just take a listen.
So I'd love to know if you have any insight on who your next opponent might be.
Well, so funny that you mentioned that. Because, again, I said I was irritated. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more because I really am irritated. Because, you see, when I picked up my son from school today and drove 30 minutes down here to Skyway Studios here in Nashville, Tennessee, I thought I would walk in here and I would have a conversation with Billy about the Chelsea and Matt situation, about the Cardonas. I thought that, heck, if there's a championship match or if there's a conversation about a match or an opponent that we should be having, you have the history maker, you have the glass ceiling breaker, you have hardcore country Mickie James sitting in your locker room, and you are avoiding the question at hand, and that is the Burke, the NWA Women's Championship, and the title match that will sell out crowds everywhere, Camille versus Mickie James versus hardcore country. But yet I walk in here and I find out that I am wrestling Natalia Markova. Now, Natalia, I don't know what kind of wheels you've greased or what kind of strings you're pulling to get Billy to agree to put you in the ring with me, or to think that you actually deserve to stand across the ring from me, but clearly you are here to try to make a name for yourself. And you know what? I'm in a fighting mood tonight. I am in a real fighting mood. You want to make your name at the name of Mickie James? You're barking up the wrong tree, because I'm pissed off. I'm real pissed off.
Like I said, I completely understand. You are a legend, Mickie James. And I definitely appreciate you being at NWA Power. And I appreciate you for everything that you have done for the NWA. So thank you so much for your presence today.
Thanks.
What's she so mad about?
Well, I mean, it sounds like she thinks she should also be immediately in that title picture. She's the legend Mickie James, and she's been a champion in every other company. And yet, somehow, she's still having to work for, I guess, the title shot. I guess this is how it is in the NWA. Her husband's doing the same thing. He's battling his way back up. And William Patrick Corgan, the president, is putting her in other matches. As she said there, she was a little off on tonight, but she will be apparently taking on Natalia Markova. She just found that out. She's got another matchup next week on Power we'll talk about. But she wants Camille. She wants the Burke.
I mean, there is so much competition for every championship in the NWA, and the women's title is no different from that. I just saw Kylan King this weekend, and let me tell you, from what I saw from her, she's probably somebody who's going to rush right up the rankings here. I mean, Mickie James is a legend, always deserves an opportunity. Kenzie Page, who is like the rookie sensation. She's the one that's made a name for herself in this company from when we saw her just starting out to where she is today, which is at any point in time, I feel like she is going to be the next generation of women's wrestling. Genocide is part woman, part machine, a monster. If you're aware of this, we have Max the Impaler just made the debut this weekend. Max, a force to be reckoned with. Essentially, Camille, as a women's champion, has so many people gunning for her, like every champion we have here, that just being able to retain at any given time is an accomplishment. I'm glad I'm not a champion because I don't like losing. It's also why I don't try anything, because that way at least I could say, hey, I didn't win, but I also didn't lose. And she keeps on saying one time. I don't know. Anything could happen. You
didn't even mention Angel in that.
Because there's so many people that you can't even keep track. You were naming even more people. Can you imagine running down an entire division and saying every name that's on there? I just threw 4 people that could be champions. And then I still forgot people. Chelsea Green, you're right, does deserve to be in there. Angelina Love deserves to be in there. That is how much competition there are that it's hard to even keep track of it. That's an impressive roster right there. The NWA has had women come and go from this brand that have been names that will last a lifetime. And to be a part of that is good for everybody. And I just want to say, like, right now, the women's division is the hottest it's been in a long time. And I am happy that we get to be a part of that and witness it. Who knows what's going to happen next?
Well, if you just look at the chat right now, I mean, you just see all the names people are mentioning. I mean, Missa Kate just got mentioned. Maxie Impaler, Kylan King, Paola Blaze. I mean, there's just all of these people. The NWA women's division is like no other. And we love these wrestlers, and can't wait to see what happens next and who gets a shot at Camille. That's going to be fun to find out. But let's go back to the men for just a second and talk about Trevor. This past week of Power was just amazing. This is why I keep coming back to it, because there was just so much that happened. Trevor Murdoch took on Aaron Stevens in a big grudge match. Those two have been having issues, and this was a fight. And we haven't seen Aaron Stevens like this in a long time. Unfortunately, still not enough to get over this angry Trevor Murdoch that we've been seeing since his loss of the World's Championship. And Trevor hits that big flying bulldog for the win, the 1-2-3. But Trevor Murdoch, you want to talk about unstoppable right now? That guy is on a tear.
He's definitely on a tear. The attitude of, it's not selfishness. It's the man put his heart and soul into the NWA. And he won the World's Heavyweight Championship. He was the man.
They lost it to Cardona.
Very true. But the fact of the matter is that the fans wanted him to be champion. They cheered for him. They hated Nick Aldis. They wanted him to be the man to dethrone them. And much like always happens in life, once you get what you want, people are just like, well, now I've had a taste of it. That's not fair to Trevor. Trevor never changed his work. He never stopped caring about the fans. He never stopped trying to be the face that carried that championship with the honor it deserves to have. And whether you believe it or not, the argument can be made that he didn't change how he felt. The fans changed how they felt. He is just dealing with the repercussions of a bad chain of events. Cardona comes in, attacks him, takes him out, steals the championship. Knox, being in that family, also does it. And everything else that happens, and he's just left hanging by the side. When you put your heart into something and you are not appreciated, and then somebody just doesn't do the right thing and then costs you that, and nobody has a problem with it, and they're just like, oh, I love the new flavor of ice cream that came out at the shop right now. He's deserves to feel a certain type of way. And anybody that gets in the ring with him until he's over that, I feel for you, because you are about to just feel some real frustration. And if anything, frustration from Trevor Murdoch is something that I don't want to be on the other end of.
You got media in the chat.
To say something.
Well, I was going to say, Will, I was going to throw to you here because media in the chat saying Murdoch got screwed, overlooked, pushed aside.
That's what I said.
Once Card Dummy came in the NWA, Trevor is assertive now. Trevor needs his rematch.
I really need to move this computer over to here because every time I look, I'm looking in the wrong direction. But it's what it is. Thank you. Kyle with the little symbol there that I can't remember. Was that a semicolon?
I think he just, it was a typo.
Okay, well,
Kyle's preaching good.
I can tell you that ampersand is my favorite punctuation that's in anything like that, my little symbol there. So either way, thank you. I am making great points.
Tell us,
if I can
Will.
interrupt you and talk about wrestling for a second. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of opinions. First of all, let me go down the list here. Before we resort to name calling like car dummy, where I think I'm a little above that. So I will say Trevor didn't get screwed. I was there. I was in the arena. I saw that match. You guys all saw it. It's well documented. Nobody helped Matt Cardona. There was nothing questionable going on. Matt Cardona came out and was more hungry for the title in that match than Trevor was. As far as Trevor's mentality, that's also well documented. He was a fan favorite. He was the guy that everybody wanted to beat Nick Aldis, and then he did it. It was a big moment at NWA 73. It was awesome. What a great memory. And then I think with Mike Knox and with Matt Cardona, I think he realized something, and I think that he should thank Matt Cardona and Mike Knox because they've taught him a valuable lesson, as they do with anybody that they step in the ring with, because they're geniuses in this sport. They taught him, Trevor, you can't just go out there and do this for the fans, because that doesn't win and keep you championships. And he was prioritizing everyone else over himself. He was prioritizing different tag team partners and people that he was allies within the company. And he was trying to be the people's champion. And
babies are filthy. You don't want to kiss a baby.
It doesn't work. And so when he lost that title, I think it was a wake-up call. And I think the Trevor Murdoch you're seeing now is more Trevor Murdoch than the Trevor Murdoch you saw beat Nick Aldis. And listen, I don't think that he has a shot personally to take the title off Matt Cardona. As I've said, I don't think anybody has a shot. But I think in terms of who's got a right to it, obviously he's got a rematch. He's entitled to that. And I think this version of Trevor Murdoch would be much more dangerous than the previous version of Trevor Murdoch that Cardona won the title off of. I still don't think he would win it and get it back. But, I'm a fan of this evolution of Trevor Murdoch because we've seen a lot of different sides of him in the past year. And this one feels the most like a successful competitive pro wrestler to me.
I really think that you had a lot of valid points on that one. And I think your way of looking at this is it might have been a hard truth that changed Trevor for the better. I think that could be a very valid point. But I also want everybody listening to this that is a fan of the National Wrestling Alliance that was like, oh, Cardona, that's something new and fresh. You are partly responsible for this new change in attitude. And I just hope that at no point does this get to the point where we all regret this entire thing happening by what the fallout is. Otherwise, Trevor Murdoch, the new attitude, it is working. I'm enjoying it as long as it's not working against me. So Will, valid point. We all live and we learn. And as long as he learns from these mistakes and everything that happened, he'll be a better man for it. I can't believe I just am agreeing with you that Cardona actually was good for something.
I do love
him mid-Cardonally.
Oh, yeah. Good burn. I like that one. That's a good insult.
I was just noticing in the chat that when Will said he was not going to resort to nicknames, they've just been coming in. I saw I saw
people show their true colors, man.
Cardopa in there. I saw all of that.
They hit the auto fire button, Will.
Listen, man. Listen, when you run out of valid arguments, you just resort to name calling. So I get it. That's a last resort. You're like, you can't argue with facts or logic or anything. So hey, let's call people some names. That's good.
That shirt looks great. You've got on there, by the way, Will.
It really does. This is the tell me what it's called again. 1981.
The retro 1981 video.
Retro 1981. And normally I'm wearing all black. Tonight I'm going more of a lighter yellow. I feel more springy, springtime.
Has spring been sprung?
Got on the USA version.
I'm telling you, Easter has just happened, and this gives me that vibe, but I got to be honest with you. Like Aerosmith says, pink is my favorite color. It's actually my second favorite color. Purple's number one, but this is my second favorite color. Got a bunch of pink tattoos. It brings them out. It pops them. And the blue on the shirt, it makes the eyes really go too. So if you want to be in on that, making your tattoos and your eyes pop, you got to go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. Use that 15% promo code MADDEALS. Maybe you don't have blue eyes. Maybe you don't have pink tattoos. That's where the retro game t-shirt comes in. The yellow on that. Hey, maybe you don't like wearing color stuff. Maybe you're self-conscious and you want to make sure that you're hiding the curves that everybody likes about you. You can get one of the other shirts available right there, like the new variant color tee, the NWA Globe logo, black shirt. Really good. Oh, and then there's also the one that's going to be promoted for Always Ready, the Matt Cardona Wrestling Alliance I did say before, purple's my favorite color and the blue brings out my eyes. So I got to be honest with you, I'm probably going to buy that shirt too, just because it's going to make me look good. And you can look good too when Mad Dealz is the code you put in at nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. Get that 15%. Take advantage of Danny Dealz. Everybody deserves to be taken advantage of the Dealz man.
Yeah. And the shirt bundle, retro shirt bundle.
Yeah, don't forget that retro shirt bundle.
That's great that I had such fire and I just hit that and all the points we needed and it was beautiful. And you go, yeah, but you forgot the shirt bundle.
I was just adding on to it. You
thank you. I appreciate that.
You said it.
I saw Gary have a look of disdain in his eyes when he said it, like he was disappointed in me.
Yeah, no, I was very happy with you. You nailed it, and I
appreciate you.
I'll throw this out right now. I have nothing but gratitude that I get to do this show with folks like Danny Dealz and Kyle Davis. Maybe Will.
Dealz is great. I have so many more cool things in my closet now because of him.
These two are pros, and
listen,
I love being a part of this. I've learned a lot.
No, you guys are pros. You make this show happen. I appreciate you.
You can do all the ass kissing you want of Dealz and Kyle, but you know that if I was not traveling with you this weekend, you would be stuck in an airport somewhere right now, hungry, haven't slept in days, because you would not make it through these road trips.
Will is my dad on the travel. Like he is very good about keeping me in check. Our plane on the way home was supposed to be delayed, so I thought, I got time, so I hung out at the bar. And I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden, Will runs up. Luckily, just in time, because I was being very introverted, and the couple next to me started talking to me about things. And then Will runs up and is like, "We got to go. They've already boarded. We got to go right now." I'm like, "Oh, my God, what?" And turns out, the plane had already boarded. And that happened on the way down here.
We got
on. Back.
He goes to bed at 1 o'clock, so,
It's true. Will goes to bed earlier every time.
There's two comments in the chat right now. One of them says, "When are you guys getting hats back?" And oh snap, you got hats back. We actually have these flat bills right here, but I can tell you that Dealz gave me a little iggy, as they say, that we have some more hats coming up, and I'm looking forward to those because flat bill not really my thing, but a little curve on the front like an normal baseball.
I got a red hat coming, and
we getting these kind?
I believe because that's my jam. That's my jam too. Yeah. And we got beanies too, which when you have no hair, it keeps your head very warm if you're in the winter regions of the country or the world. I live in Florida. We get about 2 weeks a year where it's below freezing, but I'm still going to probably have to get one of those. The other thing in here that I was seeing on this thing was, why are we taking grief from Will? Will has very valid points at times. I'm not going to lie. At the end of the day, just because you don't like to hear something doesn't make it false, and sometimes hard truths are required.
That comment is from Media M5, who I'm also going to give credit for. That I love this comment. Will is always ready for bed early.
Nothing wrong with that.
Another question, since we're talking merchandise, is do we have 4XL shirts? Dealz? I'm pretty sure we do, right?
Yes. For which one?
Well, I mean, they make a good night shirt for Will when he's going to sleep early.
Well, yeah.
4X is not a night shirt on me, buddy.
We got 4 and 5X in this. We also got in the shirt bundle, the 4 shirts for the same size for $20. We got all kinds of 4Xs and 5.
This is what's great about this show is you can get all your merch questions answered by the guy who literally has all the answers. So
we're just going to start a separate show.
And for me, nobody asks me any questions because we're just going to say, I just do ring announcing. That's all I do for the company. Oh, look at that.
This stuff.
DVDs? Is that what that is? It's all shiny and wrapped? Is that
Danny Dealz, that's a big one. That stuff's not available anywhere right now. Even on 5, I don't think you can find the early episodes of 10 Pounds of Gold. For some reason,
the Deal Machine has.
That's why I'm here.
Oh, that's good.
He's got 3 discs, 38 segments. Damn.
Yeah, look at that. 10 Pounds of Gold. You want that stuff? You want to be able to view that? Dealz has got your hook up there.
The weirdest one in the room says that's fire. No, that's not fire. NWA on Fire was a separate thing, but he probably has DVDs hidden of that somewhere too.
Into the fire.
He's got everything into the fire.
Hey, you know what happened after Trevor Murdoch versus Aaron Stevens? Angelina Love.
Was that a crush you had? Oh, look at that. He has that on DVD.
He has Into the Fire on DVD. Oh, my God. Look at that.
Hey, Candy went crazy. She was like, hey, take all this stuff. I'm like, okay.
You really did find everything. There was a treasure trove of things hidden somewhere. Look at that. Snapback hat, flat bill right there. Power, Carneyland. He's got everything. Dealz, you're unstoppable.
This is great.
Bang, bang.
I think the 10 Pounds of Gold DVDs were something I never bought back in the day. And they, because they were always on YouTube, and now they're not there anymore. So.
Now they're not there anymore.
Hey, this is what I tell my wife all the time. Just because you have everything available for streaming doesn't mean at some point in time it's going to disappear. So when she says, why do you have all this physical media? It's because you never know what's going to happen. You cannot get the right version of The State from MTV with the proper music on DVD. You have to have the bootlegs because of copyrights. Get your physical media, folks. You don't know what's going to... I sound like a prepper now, don't I? You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Make sure you have plenty of canned foods and NWA on DVD.
Listen, this is what happened to me, okay? It's around Valentine's Day, and the deal machine wants to watch My Bloody Valentine and drink moose. And it wasn't on Shudder, it wasn't on Tubi, it wasn't on Peacock, it wasn't on Netflix, the original or the remake. So I had to go get the DVDs I bought 10 years ago and watch them because it's the holiday season, or it was the holiday season. You know what I mean?
When I hear somebody say, oh, I can't get that on a streaming service, but I wanted to see it, I'm like, that's a cool person because they know the cool stuff, the down low stuff, the indie stuff, the things you can't get today, not the mainstream. Yeah, you can go see a Marvel movie in the theater, but some stuff you just need to get on your own terms, guys. NWA, all the stuff you need on DVD, Dealz can get that to you. Even if it's not up right now, you know it might be in a bundle sometime. You know it might appear. Heck, he might just show up at your place of work and be like, you want to buy a DVD?
Yeah.
You never know. Dealz is
like
that kind of guy.
Used to come to my barber shop in Cleveland.
Do you need a intern, Danny Dealz?
Do I need one? I don't know. Well, I got a bunch of them. Look, I got Chotch here, got Vin back there, Maddie's here, got Martina here, got the little Kyle Ray here. What do you mean?
Jedi Warrior, what do you mean by Northeast Florida? I'm just curious about that because I live in Ormond Beach, so I'm like
Northeast is like Jacksonville Beach, right? Like what is?
I just want to know where he said. I'm more like central that side, but yeah, Florida is a place I'd love to be because it's an easy drive for me. I was actually looking at the Daytona Convention Center, but at the end of the day, the airports suck in this area, and so I wouldn't want to have to worry about getting everybody from Orlando to here.
I thought the Power review was going to work. I really did this time, but it just...
So about that wrestling, knowing McPony, let's talk wrestling. I believe I was talking about the NWA running shows in Florida, so I can be lazy and just go to them that way.
What else happened on Power? Hey, did I tell you
smart.
The Briscoes didn't watch Silver Bullet like I told them to?
Can you send Noni the link, and we'll get Noni McPony on the show, and she could tell me and Dealz to shut up and get on focus here.
Yeah, I do think we need somebody with a clipboard and a headset keeping this thing rolling along.
Yeah, they're like, all right, 5 minutes, go.
Time limits, yeah.
I said I still have my whiteboard from last week where it says Sultry Joe G.
Angelina Wrestling with the MMA. I messed up. It's not Angelina Jolie. I'm sorry. Angelina Love made her debut in a match with Tootie Lynn, hit the Botox injection. That's the big part of that. Angelina Love, as Danny Dealz pointed out, pretty superior as far as women's wrestling goes, or just wrestling in general.
She may be the best.
She proved her point. Yeah. So she's on her way. And so I don't think you just walk in and get a title shot, though. So she's going to have to prove herself.
Nobody kicks out of the Botox injection.
If Mickie James has to prove herself, Angelina Love has to prove herself.
No, that's not fair. That's prejudice against Canadian wrestlers.
All right. Well, I didn't even know Angelina Love was Canadian. So
yeah,
well,
of course
the more you know.
She's from Ontario.
You didn't hear the accent?
Yeah.
I don't think I got it. Oh, well, all right.
She wouldn't talk to Gary. She refused.
I'm going to jump into this other thing. Here's the big thing. Tyrus was out, and apparently they were announcing they had a competitor for the Slam Challenge. We'll talk about that for a second.
Ooh.
I found out who the next challenger is in the Slam Challenge. Now, Kyle, you know how we do. I can show you, or I can tell you. I can show you, or I can tell you. I can show you, or I can tell you. What you want me to do?
As long as it's not me, you could tell me.
And this is pretty crazy, man, because this guy, he just never quits. He never gives up. This guy has a lot of heart. But the next challenger in the Slam Challenge just happens to be Big Strong Mims.
That's who's next.
I really hate to tell you this, guys, but that's not breaking news. I heard that earlier today that Mims was going... Sorry.
Was it breaking news?
Very breaking news. Never heard it before again. Thank you for sharing.
All the gifts that I've given Mims. We left him laying in Oak Grove. We taught him a lesson in respect. And he took that and he worked hard and he trained and he got angry and focused. All those gifts that I gave him. But he didn't learn his lesson. He should have taken those skills somewhere else. But you want to come, you want to try to slam the unslammable, you want to try the guy who's never been off his feet. Come get it, Mims. And once again, school will be in session. Take the mic, Kyle.
Whoa.
Kyle.
I'm literally drinking right now because I'm remembering how that felt. You can see I grabbed the microphone with the other hand that time. Homeboy's got strength, and it's really frightening because I don't know if he knows it, but literally whenever you see him kind of crushing my hand, it bothers me for like the next 20 minutes afterwards. If you ever get a close-up on it, it's all red, and it's got like those little white knuckle marks of where people grab you. I can say things like that right now because he can't hurt me from afar. He's not going to be able to reach through the screen and crush me. But in person, if you've ever met Tyrus, and it just right up next to him, the book, great, glad he's the #1 seller. But at the end of the day, too, very strong man who does not like you to disagree with him and does not hesitate to accidentally crush bones in your hand or your head or anything else. He is a crusher. He's Crusher Tyrus. And geez, don't tell him news he doesn't want to hear.
Okay,
Mims,
hey,
congrats.
Who here thinks that Mims could slam it?
Drop
Not a
that in the
chance.
chat. We want to see. Drop it in the chat. Do you think Mims can slam Tyrus? People don't appreciate, I will say this, people don't appreciate, I see it online all the time. They don't appreciate how strong Tyrus is and how big Tyrus is. You're talking about big, strong Mims. Tyrus is also big and strong. And Tyrus is, you stand next to Tyrus, it is amazing. It is just.
Yeah, he's an apartment complex.
Yeah, it is. That guy is
Huge.
so large.
Weird. I just immediately thought, yes, people live inside him and he has a swimming pool that nobody wants to go in. But Mims, does have the strength. It's not only the strength thing, it's also the physics of it. Mims has a low center of gravity. So he's a big, strong guy, but also that low center of gravity can pop those hips and get things up there. So it's a combination. Tyrus hasn't met someone that has what Mims has to offer. Mims definitely has the ability, if in the right situation, to use that strength to make Tyrus, as Tyrus says, I've never gotten off my feet. Way to brag that you have no ups. But Mims will give you ups.
Seen in the chat, Mims can definitely slam Tyrus. Mims going to pick him up and drop him on his head. Tyrus is a manster and a crusher. Does that make him a man crush? Well, I don't know. Kyle called him an apartment complex. I didn't
call him an apartment complex. I said if he was, he'd have people
talked about being
and a
inside
weird pool
I
inside.
don't know what that means.
Because apartment complexes have people inside them. If he's an apartment complex, he has little tiny people inside of him. And also, it probably weird smells.
It was just a metaphor. Big Willie style. What do you think?
Nah, no chance. He doesn't slam him. I mean, first of all, Kyle, you're not going to lecture a guy about the news who literally is on Fox News. It's right there. Like, that's his job outside of wrestling. So you're going to tell him about news? And no, Mims is not getting a slam, man. Are you kidding me? I don't care about where his center of gravity is. He's not going to slam the manster. It's just not going to happen.
People are calling him the walking condominium now. Mims has legs like tree trunks. I'm seeing the weirdest one in the room say. That's true.
Arms like legs, legs like people.
I don't think. Yeah, Tyrus. I don't think he's getting slammed. Just like
All
Big
right.
John said.
Well, we're going to find out soon enough because apparently Mims is the next challenger for that slam challenge. If he can pull it off, then Tyrus has promised that he'll get a TV title shot. So we're going to find out soon enough. The other thing we got to talk about, well, one other thing real quick. Tom Latimer and Camille come out and meet with Kyle. Always Kyle. Kyle's just Kyle.
I'm sorry. I'm there.
It's the Kyle show.
And so they come out and talk with Kyle, and Tom has a special announcement. You tried your best, but he says you got to wait till USA, and so we will. But Camille talks a lot about she's the one-time champion, the forever champ, all of the same stuff you hear from Camille. And as we've discussed already in the show, she's got plenty of people lined up, so we're going to find out more about that later. And then, of course, the second of the 3 title defenses we can talk about from this past week, the Briscoes challenge La Rebellion for the World's Tag Team Championships. An amazing match. Will and I snuck into the room to see this. This is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me is the ability to sneak in, that I get to be there and then I can peek through the curtains or sneak through the curtains and stand by the hard cam and watch this. We had to be there in person, and you cannot imagine just how hard-hitting and athletic this match was. And somehow, some way, La Rebellion gets a huge win, a win I think they needed when they got the pin. 1, 2, 3. La Reb beats the Briscoes, retains the NWA World's Tag Team Championships.
Where'd Dealz go? Is he going to go kill a werewolf?
I don't know. He gets scared every time we talk about.
He probably got.
He really thinks that Mega Wolf is a werewolf.
It's in his name, Kyle. He's a wolf.
I told you.
But not a werewolf.
Kyle, prove he's not. Prove
He's a robot wolf. He's not a werewolf. He's a mecha. He's robot. Mecha means machine, does it not? And I've seen plenty of werewolf things. I don't ever remember them having machinery involved. And that's actually even more frightening. Imagine a half robot, half wolf. It's going to be so dangerous. What if they programmed it wrong?
I don't have to imagine it because I watched him retain his world tag team title.
And by the way, I said Tyrus, no ups. Mecha Wolf, he's got ups. That 450, ooh, let me tell you something. I don't want to be on the other end of that.
It was a great match. If I can talk about the match for a second, incredible match. And as Gary said, it was one that we had to witness in person. And it start to finish. I mean, you put the Briscoes and La Rebellion in a ring together, there's not going to be a hint of a dull moment in the entire match. So if you haven't watched that yet, if you're watching this right now and you haven't watched it, the first thing you need to do when we sign off is to go watch it on YouTube or Fight. It's up there, and enjoy this masterpiece of a tag team title match. And it's a match we've all been wanting. And I hate being right. I hate always being right. But La Rebellion, they're the best in the world. There's a reason they have that gold around their waist, because they're the best. And the Briscoes can get there one day, but it just definitely they're not there yet. It wasn't their night, and the champs continue to reign, and I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, I that's the thing. I mean, we very rarely, since we've been lucky enough to be a part of this and do things like this live stream or be at these events in a backstage capacity, it's very rare that a lot of times we have to watch the show just like you guys because we miss a lot. And Kyle knows this. So you get busy and you don't get to keep up with everything that's happening. And so it's a very rare occasion we get to stop and actually try to sneak in and see something, because
it's called a curtain sellout.
Yeah, it was. It felt like history in the making to see La Rebellion versus the Briscoes, and so I had to see it, and it proved to be correct. So an amazing match, like Will said. Go check it out if you haven't already.
By the way, somebody just asked, when are we going to start taking callers? I will always be happy to do a call-in show if anybody ever wants to do that.
Well, that'll probably have to be when we can work in some sort of delay and censoring, because I just feel like that could get out of hand really fast.
What we'll do is we'll get Joe Galli on that episode, because he's used to people screaming out things. We've all seen the news clip. He takes care of those hecklers right down to business.
That is a clip we should have on standby at all times on here.
We should. Why do we not?
Well, I'm gonna make a note of that right now. All right. Let's talk about NWA USA for a minute. G's opens up talking about Marche Rocket. He's got a big title match against Jax Dane. That's going to be the third of our title matches that happened this past week. Jax gave him some hassle, but he will be defending the title on the NWA USA episode. Then next up, you get Camille versus a debuting Caitlin Alexis. She is a fantastic hula hooper, but that'll help you against Camille.
Dexterity. When I saw her doing the hula hooping and the moves, I was like, she might be able to avoid that spear. I was wrong.
Yeah. She did not. No. So Camille still continues to walk through competition, and not even in title matches. She's just taking matches because she wants matches, and she's just still stopping everybody that she comes.
Give Angelina Love a match now.
Yeah,
I'm sure she would love that.
There you go. I like that. That's a good
It's called
job.
low-hanging fruit. I'm short. I can't go for the tall stuff.
You're grounded.
Well, if you didn't see it, one of the cool parts about NWA USA also this time around is you get these little cool 60-second promos from people just to talk about, or whatever they're called, interviews, just to talk about themselves for 60 seconds and tell you everything you need to know. And, we were just talking about it, but hear him talk about it for himself. This week, it was Big Strong Mims.
Hello, it is me, Big Strong Mims. Actually, let me take that back. I have a saying. I like to say you got to work your ass off until there's no ass left. # no ass left. So I'm not just Big Strong Mims. I'm big ass, strong ass Mims without the ass on the end. And you know what? I'm a guy that loves competition. I'm a guy that loves opportunity, and I'm a guy that loves to adapt to adversity, and that's what I do here in the NWA. And I've had some of the biggest, strongest opponents you could throw at me, and I've always come out on top in some sort of way. I found my way back to the top. I found my way to beat that adversity. That's just who I am. Adaptability, but that just doesn't sound right with big, strong, adaptable Mims. So it's just Big Strong Mims with no ass.
Well, there's a lot of places to go with that discussion, but I don't know. I'm removing Dealz for right now. Oh, no, he's back.
He's back. He wants to be all about the ass talk.
Yeah, put him back on in his rightful place.
Ass talk.
Bodie's saying Mims is ready for the next level. You guys feel like that? You feel like he's gonna, like he's? I mean, we've talked a lot about him already, but he's stepping up. I mean, it feels like he's.
I don't know. I haven't been watching USA because I've been suspended off it by
that's a good point.
Corrupt ass Medusa.
All right.
And yet you were wearing the shirt earlier tonight. I'm just saying.
I was. Well, it's a wonderful shirt.
It is. It's a wonderful program, and Medusa's a wonderful person that's running that.
For life.
Dealz, do you ever think maybe you caused the situation that got you suspended from NWA USA?
No. Don't stick up for your cousin Kevin Keenan. You Northeast brothers. You know, that's not
big strong words from Kyle.
I get it.
Scott,
it's so true. It's so true. That's why I like David and Bennett, because they're my Northeast brothers.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm a little biased, so I don't understand the rest of the country. And it really weirds me out every time I have to talk to William Patrick Corgan, because he's on Central Time and I know Eastern Standard Time, and I've never had to deal with that before. You're right. But you did something. You got kicked out. And I think my favorite part of it is you didn't even get the match ended. Your kicking was so ineffective that he was like, no, I don't really feel like you affected the outcome of this.
I wasn't even hurting the guy. I mean, what I didn't.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty sad.
I wasn't doing anything to him. And Kevin Keenan just assumed I was doing something.
I'm pretty sure Kim Storm's actual mother, Storm, hits harder than you do.
No.
That was a callback, because at one point in time, Danny Dealz was Mama Storm.
Yeah, and
I'm still mad at. Are
you sure?
Tim Storm's the thug and put me on the injured reserve.
It looked like him and it dressed like him. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm still mad at Joe Galli for even pretending like that was real. I still don't understand why Joe Galli was also like, I guess this is Mama Storm. Come on, Joe.
That's what he was told in his earphone. It probably really was Mama.
Hey, if you've seen the Christmas special of NWA Power, you know that Joe Galli sometimes is drinking. And maybe he was drinking that night.
You know,
That was one of my favorites.
There's a couple Mama Storm shirts in the bundle. By the way. Anyway,
we got to send one of those to Gary.
We bring it all back together, folks. You might think they're going on a tangent, but no, we pull it all back together. This is the NWA.
There you go. Mad Dealz. That's the promo code. No space in there. Mad Dealz gets you 50% off at nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. All right.
You know, we keep on talking about the merchandise, but we should be talking about the live events, because right now, if you go to NWATix.com, there's a little thing right there where you can see all of our upcoming shows. There's 4 of them on there right now. You can get tickets to Always Ready. It's going to be on June 11th, pay-per-view, Knoxville Convention Center right there. Matt Cardona, he got his way. He's not only champion, he's got his own pay-per-view now. If you saw the press release that was on the internet there, he was talking about Harley Race, never had his own pay-per-view. Ric Flair never had his own pay-per-view. But Matt Cardona, own pay-per-view. It's themed, it's that. And then the night after, we're going to have our own little special NWA taping. It's Knocks Out. You know, Matt Cardona just keeps on getting more and more of what he wants. In fact, he's even mentioning me. He's like, hey, maybe we should even do my music for this. I don't know what the heck's going to happen with that. But needless to say, if you go to NWATix.com, you can get tickets for both those events, including the next set of NWA tapings that will take place at Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee on the 13th and 14th. It is a packed weekend that you can be a part of. Tickets are on sale now. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Make the date. Be a part of history as it happens.
And Kyle brings up all of that, and that's excellent. And if you could be in Knoxville, I promise you it's going to be a historic night to be there, NWATix.com. But some people can't make the trip. And if you can't make the trip, of course you can get events on pay-per-view. But pay-per-view can be pricey when you're buying a ton of different pay-per-views. So have you thought about...
About to hear my voice again, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
The National Wrestling Alliance and Fight brings you the ultimate streaming service for everything NWA. This is NWA All Access. For just $49.99 a year, you'll get every single NWA pay-per-view, NWA Power days before the rest of the world, NWA USA, and special fight-exclusive content. All the pay-per-views, all the action, all the power. For only $49.99 a year, that's a savings of over $100 versus just ordering everything alone. To subscribe, visit fight.tv today. That's FITE.tv. Join the thousands of fans that have already subscribed to the toughest brand in professional wrestling. The NWA, wrestling as it's meant to be.
Love
Speaking
that
of,
Kyle voice.
You mentioned the thousands of fans, and I got to be honest with you, the thousands of fans, I am happy that you are supporting the brand, but I can tell you this much. Danny Dealz has had to reprint these Crockett Cup shirts so many times now that he has had to do waves and waves and waves of shipping, and I hope we never do another t-shirt promotion, because the amount of people that signed up was mind-blowing, and if you people knew how many people signed up, you would know this is why I'm waiting on a t-shirt. If you're one of the people that are, if you're one of the people that already got the shirt, good for you. You signed up first, but otherwise, poor Danny Dealz is trying to get these things to you, and it just so happens that printing takes time, so be patient. And we appreciate you, and thank you for subscribing. You get it all. You made the deal. You spun the wheel. You get what you get. NWA All Access. It's the way to be. Why wait? Subscribe now if you haven't already.
And I have a bunch of them over here. I don't know if you can see this. All these. You see that? No? I get cut off? No, anyway. There's a bunch here. Hey, did we just lose somebody? Where's Gary at?
Well, Gary's decided he's going to leave right now because he's going to go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop because he saw what you were showing there. He's like, I got to go buy stuff right now. And you should too. I thought I heard his voice for a second. It was just you.
I have a dolly full of boxes, probably about 8 boxes for that fight promotion. And I agree. It was cool, but I don't want to do another t-shirt promotion.
I remember when I looked at what it was and I said, hey, good news, bad news, Billy. We had X amount of people sign up. And he goes, that's fantastic. I'm like, that's X amount of shirts you're going to be shipping out. He goes, well, it's a good problem to have. So, guys, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. We've learned our lesson. Sometimes we shouldn't make offers that we have to follow through on because it takes a lot of work. But thank you very much for it, and just be patient. They're coming to you right now. It's not easy to get so many things printed in one shot, and we learned that. Because another thing is timeliness. People are like, hey, is it in the mail? Yes, it's in the mail. But also, do you know how many hundreds of people took 4 weeks to respond? Just putting that out there.
I saw
Yeah.
the list.
Oh,
Anyway,
there he is.
Garrett.
He's
Oh,
back.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I had to pee, just to be honest.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And by the way, Sarah, if you could hear me, you were right. It's 8:00 and we're still doing this. I was wrong.
No, we're getting there. I just wanted to take a second to mention Gags the Gimp, who was in a triple threat match with Caitlin, or not with Caitlin, Alexis. Good for you, Caitlin. I don't know which would be better, Camille or Gags the Gimp, but no, with Casey Rocker and Jamie Stanley. And Gags he's I don't know.
He's a character. He's a person.
Character
I
and
think
popular.
he's into some things.
Lots of people are talking about Gags the Gimp. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's what you would call a professional at what he does, and he's the find of 2022 for Sinister Mr. James Mitchell. And I just kind of wonder what his other talents are. He's obviously effective in the ring, but it makes you wonder what else he could do outside the ring.
Yeah,
I don't want to hang out with him.
I didn't wonder that, but go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got to tell you this, if anybody's ever owned a leather couch, you got to take care of that. You got to treat it right. So I just hope that Sinister Minister is making sure that he's treating him right and making sure that he is not only, leather treated, moisturized. And
media's right, too. You got to put a bottle under the table. That's the old Tracy Smothers. Just got to put a bottle on the table, buddy.
But yeah, Gags, you don't know what the Miserably Faithful is going to be. Those MFers, they're definitely a weird group.
He thought it was you, Kyle.
I was going to say, any truth to the rumor, it's Kyle Davis under the mask.
We've been in the same place at the same time.
Oh, then never mind.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I don't. They could do a lot with camera angles these days.
I was going to say, also, he is much leaner than I am.
No, that's media said that in the chat.
And different tattoos. A lot of tattoos, though.
Okay, I didn't say it. I know you're not the Gimp. I'm just saying.
Sure you did, Dave.
Did you just mean, am I one in my free time? Let me tell you something. There's no chest behind me that I'm going to hide in.
Yeah. Any truth to the rumors that Sinister Minister was in competition with you and the IB boys for recruiting Gags the Gimp, Danny?
None.
Okay. Just curious about that. Yeah. Hey, Colby Carino was on NWA.
Listen, after the show, if we're going to try to go to the bar or pick up chicks or do whatever, the guy doesn't talk. He's got a zipper for a mouth. I mean, what are we doing?
That's true.
Hey, listen, I've been told many times in my mouth that I'm hotter when I don't talk. So maybe Gags, he's doing it all. He's getting it all.
And this is why I was about to wrong that it was you, because you could never have a zipper on your mouth.
I was going to say I'd heard that people said that about Danny Dealz, that they had hoped that would be Danny Dealz' new gimmick. So,
no, sorry. Does it look like I want to be zipped shut? Hell no.
Colby Carino was on NWA USA. I'm going to show that now.
Joining me at this time is Colby Carino. Now, Colby, I was told you want to address the situation with Ricky Morton, but first I'd like to ask you, why are you afraid of facing Kerry Morton?
Did you just ask why I was afraid? Did I hear that right? Because Colby Carino ain't scared of nobody. The reason why Kerry Morton ain't getting that match is because I already beat him. I don't need to beat him again. There's no reason that he should have to go out there and lower himself to have to lose to me again. Like, I don't want to squash the kid. I mean, I like him a little bit at least. And Ricky, you want a piece of Colby Carino? Do you know what the Carino name means in this industry? You don't just get matches with Carinos just by asking for them. If you want that match with me, well, you know what? Why don't you go through one of the fixers? Why don't you? That's an old school thing, right? You want to earn that match with Colby Carino? Why don't you? You want Wrecking Ball? We'll get Wrecking Ball versus Ricky Morton. How about that, old schooler? We'll see how it gets through that.
Okay, thanks, Colby.
May is unimpressed with Colby.
I'm impressed with Colby. I love the way he thinks. I love he's bringing up the history of the business and how we go about things. He's giving them ideas. I mean, Colby Carino, his family has been the past and he's the future of it. So, Colby, big things ahead for him.
All right. Well, the other person that had something to say this week, and we talked about it earlier, alluded to it, was Tom Latimer. He came out and finally, Kyle, you got your chance to talk to Tom and see what was on his mind. So let's jump to that real quick.
NWA USA fans joining me at the podium at this time, Tom Latimer. Tom, I got to be honest with you. You're looking great. You're probably feeling great. But at Power, you said you had a big announcement. You told me I had to wait. Well, we've waited. What's the big news?
I do have a big announcement here, Kyle. To be honest, right, I'm sick and tired of wandering around this place with no championship around my waist. I want gold. And I'm ready to pull the trigger on that. You see, nothing would make me more happier than to stand here with a championship belt around my waist, have my beautiful bride-to-be standing next to me with her championship, and together, the power couple of the NWA, together champions. That's what would make me happy, Kyle. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want to make her proud. So, wait. So, what do I want, right? What do I want? I plan on it. I want the NWA National Championship. So, Jax, unfortunately for you, mate, I take what I want. So, Jax, there's a big old bullseye on the back of your bald head, mate, okay? Hey, look, it is what it is. All yours.
Well, how do you feel if Marche Rocket, he's just walking away? I mean, Marche Rocket, you could have...
He won't.
So, Tom Latimer throwing his name in the hat there for the national championship, and his prediction came to be true right after that. Jack Stane defended the title against Marche Rocket. Marche put up a hell of an effort, but went for that rocket kick and missed. Jack Stane hits the pop the trunk and retains the NWA National Championship. And waiting in the wings, man, he's got we had Jack Stane on the show last week, and Jack Stane's got a long line of opponents waiting for him, including men like apparently Tom Latimer and men like Chris Adonis. So I don't know. You feel like Jack Stane's on top of all these guys? What are you thinking, Will? I'll throw it to you.
Man, the national title, you're right, man. It seems to be not only the premier title in NWA USA, but the premier title with a lot of the big names on the roster right now. You're talking Tom Latimer, Chris Adonis, Marche Rocket. These guys are gunning after the title, and I think a lot of them are doing it knowing in the back of their mind that it's the next step to the 10 pounds of gold, and that's a straight shot to that title. But I mean, man, that's a tough situation for Jack Stane to be in. But if I know something about Jack Stane, first of all, he's lawyered up, so these guys are going to have to get through, the legal process if they do want to match with Jack Stane. So it's not like you can just come out and declare that. He's got some legal backup. But it's going to be a pretty cluttered space there trying to get to that national title. And if Jack Stane can hang on to it against the names that we just mentioned, I think he would further cement his legacy in the NWA. He's already got a prestigious legacy, so that it precedes him. But yeah, a lot of guys coming after him. Tom Latimer looking like he's trying to sell me cologne or something, and him next to Kyle just made it all much more
contrast. I'll tell you that much. He's everything I wish I was and nothing of what I actually am. Good for Tom Latimer.
What's going on over there with lighting, Kyle?
What was that?
What's going on with all that crazy lighting? You got to.
Oh, I clicked on something on my computer screen and it changed the light. Yeah.
90s reference for you young kids.
I feel like
let's go to Lords of Acid while we're here. Let's do this.
I feel like we're watching a horror movie or something. Like somebody up here behind Kyle.
It's just me. Did you hear that?
Unfriended Part 3. That's what we're doing.
Exactly. Did you see Host, Danny Dealz?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Anyway. Jack Stane's got his work cut out for him. So we're seeing active challenges right now for the women's title. Plenty of challengers waiting on the national title. We've got a challenger potentially waiting in the wings for the TV title. We've got people gunning for the world's heavyweight championship. So lots of activity in the NWA, and who knows what's going to happen.
Well, you should want to be the champion, right? I mean, what else? What are we doing?
it just feels like things are sparking, like firing off, like more so than ever in the National Wrestling Alliance. Like, people
this is where we've talked about this before,
titles.
but this is where the NWA is different than other wrestling promotions. In other wrestling promotions, it's very simple and easy to digest. You've got one-on-one over here. You've got one-on-one. No, in the NWA, everybody recognizes that this is prize fighting. The sport of wrestling is a prize fight. And you go after the prizes. There's no consolation prizes in pro wrestling. You know, grudge matches are great and they happen every now and again, but the goal of every single person that steps in the ring in the NWA is to hold gold. And that's what everybody's gunning for. And so we're seeing the culmination of that. And that's why we're all here. So, I mean, you know, I'm with you, Dealz. I mean, if you're not going after gold and you're not laser focused on it, what are you doing here?
Wow, that's maybe that's the thing. Maybe everybody's stepping up and they're ready to go after gold. Everybody's decided. I could see a guy like Tom Latimer. I mean, he's been working forever to get a shot at the World's Heavyweight Championship. He's a former tag team champion. He's had like different obstacles set in his path for every title shot, and so he's just finally just gone out and just announced straight away, I want a national title shot. And this is maybe the first time we've seen Tom Latimer be so abrasive about this. Just like, you got a target on the back of your big bald head. It is what it is. I'm coming. And he's very just straightforward about it. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is my goal now. And a Tom Latimer with a goal. Oh, I mean, I don't know. Like, that guy. Yeah, exactly. So that's NWA USA. Bobby, I love Bobby in the chat, who is basically our producer. He throws in, who is wrestling tomorrow on NWA Power? That's a great question, Bobby, because that's about the point we're at right now. Let's talk about tomorrow. I don't have the graphics yet, but I can tell you this, Bobby, just for you. Mike Bennett is taking on Nick Aldis tomorrow night on NWA Power.
Who we got? That's a world title rematch.
Who do we got?
It is a world championship title rematch back from the days of what was it called? Primetime Live, yeah. And, so a big match there.
We know Kyle's taking his Northeast brother and Bennett. Who do you guys got?
Oh, I mean, Nick Aldis is determined right now. I feel for anybody who stands in his way. He wants. I think
they
Cardona.
both lose.
You think he's losing, Will?
Yeah, both of them.
All right.
Call it down the middle.
Danny, did you have a dog in this fight?
I'll have to go. Let's go. Old Nick Aldis, Arthur, King of the Britons. Yeah, we'll go with Aldis in this one. I like Bennett, but you know.
Well, Danny, you manage a tag team right now. Bobby's going Mike Bennett. Interesting. You manage a tag team, big tag team match tomorrow night too. The Fixers are going to be taking on the Rude Dudes. Who you got on that one?
Boy, well, I really like the Rude Dudes, but you know, the Fixers are like a combined 900 pounds. I don't know if they get a hold of them, it's over.
Interesting.
But you could distract them with cereal. So I'm going to go Rude Dudes here. Sam Adonis he does all that flippity-doo stuff. He's like a lucha guy, and Jamie Stanley's just chiseled. So we're going to go.
So there is kind of like a little thing here. If you follow him on social media, Jamie Stanley has cheat meals that he posts online, and one of those cheat meals that he goes crazy with is constantly we're mixing concoctions of cereals. There are like 4 different ones in a big bowl and just going to town on it. So the Fixers love cereal. Jamie Stanley eats all the cereal. You're either going to see them mad that he's eating their cereal, or you're going to see him overcome the Fixers because he can take out their cereal. Either way, we don't see a lot of the Rude Dudes anymore. I'm looking forward to this one because I like cereal.
All right. Well,
That's
maybe
the kind of in-depth analysis you get here on this show.
That's what this is.
Cereal Talk. You're welcome. Yeah. Welcome to Cereal Talk, where let me tell you, Cookie Crisp was one of the best cereals that was ever made. And I also missed that one back in the day where they had like the little cones that were a little ice cream on it, and you throw that in the milk. Anyway, moving on.
Well, Bodie says he's keeping his eye on the NWA tag division, and you should.
Always.
Well, the Ill Begotten will have the title soon enough. Don't worry about it. I'll call up Peter Cushing. I'll be ready for them damn werewolf.
Now that La Rebellion has conquered the Briscoes in a matchup, I feel like it's wide open for who could challenge for the tag titles.
A little garlic, a little silver, get them out of there.
All right.
Yeah, somebody needs to.
You're going to also tomorrow night, I know, hear from after their title match for the first time since this happened. Pope and Matt Cardona are going to be with Kyle, presumably, because everybody is at the podium.
Hashtag too much Kyle.
No, don't hashtag that. We love Kyle. He started it. I just like to roll with it.
I know. It's fine. It's because I'm self-loathing.
Also, we heard it on NWA Power this past week. This week, the Big Strong Challenge, the Slam Challenge, is happening this week. Mims will attempt to slam the Manster.
We talked about that earlier in the episode. I say low center of gravity and strength means that you're unstoppable. I'm going with Mims, but then again, if Tyrus is next to me, I'm going to say Tyrus.
Let me just, I'm gonna, there's a few pages blank in the back. I'm just going to write the next chapter of Tyrus's book. Mims tried to slam me. He failed miserably.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, so you're the Ghost Rider. Do you get a cut of those books? Because he sold a lot of those.
He actually didn't use the Ghost Rider. We had a conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
He didn't like the Ghost Rider they gave him. He did.
I believe that. I can picture Tyrus not liking the Ghost Rider they gave him.
Yeah, he's pretty particular, as I'm sure he'll be with the rules of the Slam Challenge. So, but if Mims can pull it off, Tyrus has promised TV title opportunity on the line there. So, maybe Mims gets. Do we see a new number one contender for the television championship? Also on the show, I am seeing Kenzie Page is going to be taking on Mickie James in the main event. And that is going to be a big match. So.
Legend versus future legend. So anything can happen on there. But I think the one person that's going to win that match, the fans.
I agree. I think those two.
Wait, I said one person, as if you're all just one person. You all have different wants, different needs. I can't loop you into one group. That's not fair to you. All the people that support the show should enjoy that, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you're into, what you like. We got a little bit of something for everybody. It's a little bit of flavor because I don't expect everybody to just, a la carte, just be like, just give me one thing. No, you got options. And I hope this is the option you're enjoying.
Yeah,
guys, I don't know if you know this. I'm hungry right now.
31 flavors is a metaphor Dr. Tom uses, who trained Kenzie Page 6 Degrees Kevin Bacon. But I'm still going to go with the cagey veteran Mickie James.
It's hard to. You don't make money betting against Mickie James. That's
great point.
And so, but it is nice to see this match happening. Mickie James has obviously talked tons of times about how she has respect for Kenzie Page, and I think literally said she has all the time in the world for that girl. And so it's good to see these two finally square up. And it's gonna be a fun match, I'm sure, either way. And if Kenzie can pull it off, well, then the sky's the limit for that one. All right. Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to throw in before we
15% off? Mad deals, new bundle, new stuff.
There it is. Mad Dealz, no space. MADDEALZ. All week long up until Friday.
Oh, and the Velvet After Dark shirts, I had a delay, but I'll have them this week, and they'll be out too.
So through May the 6th, you can use Mad Dealz to get 15% off anything at nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop.
Except for Medusa. She's getting charged double.
Except for Medusa. All right.
One day, you're going to have to deal with Medusa in person, and I feel like it's not going to come out well for you.
Yeah, get her out of here.
Also worth mentioning, just don't forget about Always Ready, Saturday, June 11th.
Will didn't forget.
No, it's a time.
Nope.
Matt Cardona gets his very own pay-per-view. You know this is going to be a big deal. This is history. This is legacy. This is, I don't know about tradition, but this is at least two of the three things that we talk about here. And Matt Cardona gets that pay-per-view. And who knows who he's going to face if he even allows himself a championship match. We're going to find out. But you can get tickets to that right now. It's at the Knoxville Convention Center in Knoxville, Tennessee, NWATix.com. You want to be there in person. And if you can't be there in person, you want to make sure to sign up for NWA All Access on Fight TV. Gets you all the pay-per-views. Power tomorrow night, Tuesday at 6:05. Only All Access members get to watch it tomorrow night. All those matches we just talked about, you can't see those unless you're an All Access member. You got to wait till Friday after everybody else who's cool already saw it. So you want to get that All Access membership.
Hey. Whoa, I would just talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out, but you went really far with that one. And I tell you, I liked it because you're not messing around. You're telling the people what they should do. And sometimes advice like that, people need to get into a better position in their life. And you can get to a better position in your life with Fight All Access.
That was a Don West pitch right there, buddy.
Well, let me tell you something, Britannica Bear. Guys, I would buy Fight All Access. I'd get 3 of them if I could, but I only have 2 email addresses, and that's not right. But if you could do it right there.
Hey, buddy, the Deal Machine worked with that brother for 2 years. So there's no.
I'm jealous of you. I used to watch him in the middle of the night sell Beanie Babies and sports cards, 2 things I wanted nothing to do with, but in the same time, I was enthralled. Don West is a legend amongst men, and I can tell you this, if I got to hang out with Don West, I'd be a better human being. I am actually super jealous of you, Dealz, for this. This is not me joking. That man had a very, very dear part of my heart in my teenage years. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
One of the best people I ever worked with.
Big fan. And the man could sell ice to an Eskimo, a ketchup to a man wearing a white suit, all the other sayings that you have said. Don West, I wish I could be him.
All right. Well, glad we ended this on a nice note there with tribute to Don West.
Just being honest.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, make sure you tune in to NWA Power tomorrow. If you're a cool person that has NWA All Access, 6:05. You wanna do that? Will, do you have anything? I see you over there just giggling.
No, I was just going to add, you guys were talking about DVDs and media and streaming stuff. I own exactly 1 DVD, and this is it.
I'm thrown off. Hold on. You still have the safety tab on top there.
Yeah, it's fresh, man. I never, I didn't want to deface it any more than I had to get into it. So
can I just tell you that every time my wife says, like, why have you not gotten rid of some of the stuff that's in the garage? And I said, because director's commentaries, bonus footage, sometimes there's things on these that you can't get anywhere else. Just putting that out there. Bam.
And sometimes even when they make the Blu-ray, sometimes they don't transfer over the commentaries from the old versions. So.
I kind of want to watch some commentaries tonight now that we're talking about
there
this.
You go. I used to go to sleep at night to the director's commentaries on movies.
I don't think this one has any commentary or anything.
You need some deep insights into Three Ninjas.
And he'd even get the one with Hogan as the villain in it.
Yeah.
It does say the laughs never stop. And I can attest to that.
I'm pretty sure they stopped.
Really? You don't seem like you're laughing right now.
I'm actually going to watch this tonight. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, the movie I'm about to have 2 DVDs. I'm about to hop on the website, type in Mad Dealz.
Guys, I don't have DVDs in my office because if they were sitting on the desk, somebody would say, why are those on your desk?
All right, let's get people like Nani McPony to bed, or I don't know what time it is in Australia. Let's let all of you get to your stuff. Kyle's got to eat, for God's sake.
I only understand Eastern time. I don't even know. But all I know is I have some Publix waiting for you over there. Get a Pub Sub, guys. If you're ever in the lower region of the United States and you have a Publix there, the subs delicious at Publix.
There you go. Get your 10 pounds of gold DVD. Use the code MADDEALS. Make sure you pick that up. I got food waiting on me too. So we're going to get out of here. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And make sure to join us next week, 6:30-ish on Monday nights. And
whenever Kyle decides to show up.
What's Danny Dealz? Oh, he's just dancing. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody, enjoy your gravy cake, everybody.